Hi, I'm Scott Dunn with Rocket 9 Solutions, delivering agility here in the Southern California area with Agile coaching and training. Today we want to talk about getting started with Scrum at the team level. There's a couple of key pieces I want to share about this, and then we'll roll through a couple of case studies. So the main things we're looking for in getting started with the team level, sitting on the relational side more than, say, the process side, is where is everyone at with this? The first thing I actually want to do is just talk with the team members. What have you heard about Scrum and Agile? What do you think about this? That might come out in the training as we ask questions, but certainly we have some pre-thought, because if we simply tell the team you're going to be doing Scrum and we never stop to ask them what they think about it, you might find some resistance. So consider that as you talk to them. The first thing we want to do is look at one-on-ones with them and some of the key roles such as ScrumMaster, Product Owner, or maybe go through the whole process of how do we identify and choose a ScrumMaster or a Product Owner. So we had one situation where he came in and said, oh, everyone's going to be doing Scrum and Agile, here's your training, get going. Now, they didn't have support in the form of coaching or follow-up, really, so as we came back later on for additional training, we asked questions about how those other teams were doing. They were not doing well. There had been a couple of misunderstandings about what they're supposed to do, both from the training and the follow-up, that there was none, and from management's understanding. And management did not go through training, so in some ways, as they say, culture will eat strategy for breakfast. So you can go through your training, but if no one else is getting involved and support is not there, then we'll roll back at times on that process. So in this case, the team was reverting back to form. They're continuing to let things back into the sprints that weren't protected. Management's pushing work down them still. The Scrum Master wasn't behaving the way we would like to see them behave, and didn't have any connection to community or other Scrum Masters or any support in any way to learn that and get better at it. They thought they'd gone through training, that was all that they needed. And we had other challenges like a product owner who was AWOL. They just weren't around. So technically, you could say you're doing Scrum and check the box, but if you feel like, I don't think it's going really well, it could be any number of these things. And without support and from learning from the community or others that you would go to, or from coaching, you might struggle some. So that was a team that did not do so well. But we also had great success with meeting with folks up front, talking with them and saying, what does this look like for you? So if you already have, say, coaches there, they're talking to them, or you have a relationship with these folks, you can have those conversations up front to find out what's the team after, are we approaching Scrum as a win for them as well, and a better insight of who might be the Scrum Master or Product Owner that's going to be a good fit and a great kickstart for them. Commonly what we like to do is go through not just training for the Scrum Master Product Owner, but training for the whole team. Not only to baseline them, but unearth all these questions. I honestly want to deal with their issues and concerns and get their buy-in support. Personally, I like to do a personality assessment as well, such as DISC, Myers-Briggs, StrengthsFinder, for better understanding. Here we are getting ready to kick off these teams as being self-organizing and self-managing, but what guidance did we give them in that area? And if I was to ask you, would you guess that these people in the Scrum teams are more likely as developers and QA to be introverts or extroverts? What would you guess? On the introvert side, so perhaps they need a little bit of help on what does that look like to be on the self-organizing team and do that. So that would be a big help to you as well. Secondly, besides just the training, if we can follow up with coaching or get all the Scrum Masters talking to each other, that would be a good win as well. In this case, this team was talking to other teams as well. The Scrum Masters would get together for lunch every other week. The company itself was doing monthly brown bags and sharing learning out as well. And these folks were involved in the local community, so they're hearing other stories and learning from them as well. And that was a big help to them. Because of personalities, the team had a real jump start on who they were and how they played and who would make the best Scrum Master. And honestly, when you have some of those key factors in place, in this case for this team, they took off like a rocket. They were doing great stuff, very flexible, very much of a team spirit. And they went through that storming, forming, norming, performing phases really well. So partly we had a good setup with training for everyone, clear support, kicking them off, and following up with their retrospective with some coaching. So that might be a good way to get started, and that's a case study that we saw was tremendously successful. Consider those factors as you get started with the team levels. I'm sure you'll do great. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.